Hello. Um, it's really dim lighting. I want to remember to keep on making little videos on here so that I can remember what I'm trying to do and kind of help encourage myself as my perspective adjusts. Um, whew, um, my mind is really buzzing. It's like all day at work, my mind is like constantly going, um, but in a way where I feel like I could actually talk about what I'm thinking and feeling. But then by the end of the day, I'm so exhausted that everything I was thinking during the day is like not accessible to me. Like I don't remember it, or I just feel defeated, and I just have to be like, you know, tomorrow's another day, gotta, just survive. And um I think I might be, no, I feel like I am definitely um being able to envision myself a little bit more separate from my job. My job has become my identity. It's been the very focus of my life for the past like um 20 months or so. And oh god, it's been like going through even the past like 6 years or 10 years or my whole life has been kind of like going through an insane tunnel of I don't know, just a crazy tunnel where I think I've definitely positively changed through it because everybody just, changes positively. But I've also been like scarred and disfigured from it, from life. And there's a lot that I'm not at peace with. There's a lot of wounds that it's like they're infected. They've been infected and they haven't been able to close. And I'm just like a wounded, dying creature. And there's some that have closed, but there's like a permanent injury or just like a weird scar um, that I feel like invites people to judge me. And I don't know, I've always had a really hard time with validating myself when somebody, well, not always. When I was younger, I was good with it. But then as certain things happened to me, I realized that I was like I had to hold myself accountable in some way. Otherwise, I'm just going to like live in fear that, other people are just going to harm me and I'm powerless against it. So, of course, you have to take some accountability just for sanity's sake and be like, well, what can I do to help prevent this? And I had to realize that I am um, not like communicating with people so that they can know me. And on one hand, it's like other people don't need to know me as I know myself. And if you try to expect or want other people to know you as you know yourself, then that can lead to um, I don't know, people taking advantage of you or like seeing you as prey. Um, and I'm still confused about all those that type of thing. But anyway, I had to realize that I have to be more proactive in communicating um, my values and ethics. And part of it is when I was younger, I couldn't afford to have any rights in relationships or in work. Romantic relationships, sexual relationships, work relationships, um, definitely not in family relationships, but I didn't have the leverage to, my thought was like, everybody's going to disrespect and disregard me. So I won't allow myself to feel hurt and also let them know how they can harm me. So I'm just going to um, not let anybody know how I really think and feel about things. I'll just try to be like an anonymous robot who's supportive and, um, certainly isn't harming people, but I am harming myself and misleading people and then misleading myself because I don't even really know what I want because my whole life it was like based around survival and like not having the leverage, like the self-esteem, the confidence, the technical skills, the education, the supportive environments growing up that would like teach me that I should be looking forward towards a career. The things that like gave me, I didn't have an environment that like gave me dignity as a female. And even I'm still like, I just noticed when I said that I said female instead of woman because to me that it's been a little bit more like of a nice word to me in the past few years, woman, and like feeling like a magical word. But growing up, I was in an environment where women were referred to as females or girls, and definitely like sexist undertones in those environments and overtones too, really. And religion played a part. And I guess in some sense I should be grateful that I got myself out of those environments and that I've done the best that I can given the shitty hand that I was dealt or given, what I was up against. But I do have a lot of anger towards just the way that the world warps people and causes them to become monsters who then go on to hurt other people. And then I'm aware that like I'm a monster to some people. Like some people, their perspective of me is that I'm a monster. Like I was in a relationship with somebody who would constantly like scream and yell at me and threaten me because he thought that I was cheating on him and he thought that I was like always like flirting with people, and that whole thing really scarred me. But like I know to him like I was a complete monster. And like if you think someone's a monster, that's more on your interpretation. And the desire is to just like you label someone a monster so that you can assert to yourself that you are in pain, you're afraid of this person, whatever, and then to try to persuade other people to protect you and help you and persuade other people to harm the monster. And I don't know, all kinds of like groupthink really scare me. My nail came off today at work. I've had these on for maybe like 3 weeks or so they're lifting. And yeah, one of them just got popped right off when I was picking up a heavy package. Anyway, yeah, groupthink really scares me. Demonizing people scares me. Even the person, like the people who I've been told have been like abusive to me in relationships, even those people, like, honestly, it was self-harm to the degree like I was like just trying to be like compassionate and like basically I have an extremely hard time sticking up for myself. Like I just don't. Like my strategy has always been to move, like physically move, to keep on switching jobs, switching where I live. And if somebody thinks differently or somebody's like upset with me, it's like automatically I'm like, I'm not going to try to convince you of anything because for one, I know that this person, their intention is just to, you know, fling anger at me. And their intention is not to understand me or try to figure out, you know, where their assumptions aren't right or figure out how we can work together. Or, yeah, so I just never, if somebody harms me, like I always just be quiet and make a mental note that I need to like cut them out and protect myself. And that's what I've always done. I think in some ways it's really helped to me, but in other ways, I do want to be somebody who is not always having to run. It's exhausting having to run your whole life and it's not sustainable. So I want to be someone who doesn't have to just run. But the thing is, I don't want to demonize the other person, or I don't want to have to harm another person in order to protect myself. So I think it's like years ago, I had the book about nonviolent communication, which I haven't read in a while, but I think I remember even at the time being like, this is really cool, but it's not, it felt like there's something missing in it to me. And I haven't read the book in a while, so I don't remember what that thing was, or like I don't have a way to describe that. I just remember what I thought at the time. But anyway, you know, something that allows for like problem solving and not demonizing either party. And being self-aware and able to know your needs, even if your needs are that you need to be alone so you can think, or your needs are to be ignored. Like maybe just like you just like, I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to say, like I need to be ignored, but sometimes you do just like, you don't even have to say it, but you can try to communicate in body language, unless somebody like gets super insulted that you want to be calm and quiet. But anyway, there's so many things I think about, but I am not good at like, I don't like writing anymore because then I just have notebooks and notebooks full of stuff and I can't locate it. And it's and also I think writing is really primitive in a way. It's like a way to, it's like step 0 or step 1, maybe step 2 or maybe even step 3 in like learning to communicate yourself well, but like I really want to learn how to communicate more verbally, and all the things I think about have a track in my mind, because this is like what really matters to me, is how to manage yourself and like collaborate with other people and like be able to work together on projects without having to demonize one another. And that's part of the reason why I like the idea of polyamory, because in theory, at least, it seems like it can take away the barriers to feeling like people don't belong, or people are like outsiders, and feelings of like lack and scarcity. So I think in theory that sounds good, but then in practice, it's like you also can't have sex with everybody in order to feel like safe and secure, and like you can collaborate and problem solve. So maybe in the long run, like, I don't know, I just have so many thoughts and so many things that I know I care about, but I also don't know some of what I'm missing. Like, I know I want to be able to talk to people about these kinds of topics, and I don't want to feel lonely and isolated anymore. But I also really worry about my ability to accurately express myself in a way that will attract people that won't like, who actually agree with me on these things. And also, like, if I'm so bad at like, I don't want to make everything into a debate, and I don't have like a clear context a lot of the time when I'm like thinking about talking to people or talking to people. Like, I tend to only talk to people when they're in a position of authority, because I feel like it takes off the burden for me to have to invest myself in them, and therefore have to be honest. Like, I don't know. But this is a weird video. It's kind of all over the place, but I just want to help myself keep a clear kind of idea of where I'm trying to get to, and making videos is helping me because I can just talk. I don't have to, and I can watch it again, listen to it again easily. I don't have to like go digging through tons of notes and trying to like find specific sentences, and like, yeah, so it's just an easier way for me to reflect. And I also like the idea that potentially I can meet friends and people to talk with about these kind of topics. I always consider like, what is, I don't know, that whole idea of like having to make sacrifices in order to get specific things. I don't know. I'm exhausted, and this whole evening, after I've been back from work, I've been feeling kind of like weird. Like, it can maybe turn into a panic attack if I'm not careful. So I should probably just do some stretches. Yeah, I think it's important for me to find another job. I do have an appointment with a career coach tomorrow, but I think it's really important for me to find another job so that my energy can go towards things that are building me up, like spiritually um, and helping me build different social skills and have good friendships that um, feel secure. And yeah, I'm just always afraid that who I know myself to be is like different from what other people may perceive me as. And people can choose to see you in really negative ways. People can choose to see you in really positive ways too. I know I'm definitely a example of that. Anyway, this is long enough, and I need to lay down and do some breathing exercises and meditation. Alrighty, bye.